welcome to your outlet for outdoors and Western lifestyle news, The Ben Show. I'm your host, Rebecca Warner, a.k.a. Beck, and as always, we love hearing from all of you. Your comments, stories, ideas, text or call us anytime at 305-900-2363. Again, that's 305-900-2363. You can drop an email to benradioshow@gmail.com. You can find us all over social media at The Ben Show, so you can send us a PM or DM there as well. Riding along shotgun, as always, is my producer, sound engineer, co-host, Jeff Tigger Earhart.
I always get confused when somebody says a PM or a DM. It just depends on what social media platform you're on, right?
Exactly. That's all it is. A PM
why don't you just say a
is
message?
For Facebook. A DM is for Instagram. Now you're in the know, everybody.
Oh, thank you for the educations.
All right. Well, first off the list, I saw this cross my desk and I thought I would bring it up. There was a gentleman in another state that got in a little trouble for taking a joyride with his lawnmower, which ended up, let's just put it this way, behind bars, okay? DUI.
He was taking a joyride?
Well,
DUI.
We're going to leave it at that.
But
But
gotcha.
I'm bringing it up because I know right away, some of you that are country music fans, you're thinking back to the good old George Jones.
Oh, I see
and
what
that
you
was,
did
you remember how his way of getting around after he lost his license a few too many times and he was known as being no-show George, would take his lawnmower into town.
How many of us in small towns, I just thought of it, that we know of somebody that this has happened to?
I can think of two people.
I'm thinking of some right now, too. Now, not just George Jones, but I'm thinking of a few people that was their form of transportation was driving the riding lawnmower
Well,
around.
even think about out here. We live out in the country, out of town, but as you know, developments creep into rural areas, and you and I ourselves have seen how folks will go up and down with the lawnmower with 2, 3, 4 kids along with. And
they're driving around.
I'm just bringing this up as a little PSA that if you're going to have a few of those alcoholic beverages, keep that lawnmower on your property,
on your own
all right?
property, yeah.
And don't get in an accident either, all right?
Well,
your insurance is not going to be okay with this.
Maybe I'm just going to go one step further and say, hey, if you want to have a few of those adult beverages, put the lawnmower away. And
Right?
go sit on the deck or just shut it off and just there you go. Then nobody has to worry about nothing, right?
All right, there we go. I know we will not be a buzzkill. See how I did that?
I see what you did
for
there.
the whole show, but I just had to bring that up. All right, other news. I saw this the other day. I know a lot of us are getting ready for Memorial Weekend. It is right around the bend. See how I did that one?
I see what you did there again. That's 3 of them.
I'm on a roll today.
But ching.
And many of us are trying to lose that last bit of winter weight that we're carrying because maybe this spring it just didn't come off like we hoped it would, or you are, trying to rapidly do it with saying weight loss drugs and such. One of those on the market is Ozempic, But there are other forms of fast dieting. But then what they're finding is people are ending up with a loose booty. Okay, we're talking the butt. The butt is getting a little saggy because what are happening? You're losing the fat in your butt. And you got to keep doing exercises like squats to keep that butt in the right position. But that's not the only reason why you're ending up with a saggy butt. If you're somebody that tends to have an office job, scientists are also saying, that flat butt syndrome is coming from that as well.
Well, and a lot of those weight loss drugs. And I know that they work for a lot of people. I'm not bashing them in any way, shape, or form. But here's my question, though, and I understand this, is that are people losing the muscle? Boom. Versus the fat. Our what do they call it? Skinny fat, right?
Mm-hmm.
When
you
you
end up
lose
with saggy skin.
Yes, when you lose a lot of the muscle tone and you think, oh, great, I'm fitting in a 2 or 3 sizes smaller jeans, but lo and behold, you're actually just losing, the muscle.
Correct. And
so
again,
caution, I guess, maybe if you're going to use some of
regardless,
that.
whatever diet you're doing, keep exercising or fitting in some type of muscle building strength, core training exercises in order for you not to end up with the saggy butt. Or the office bum, as they call it. If you aren't getting any exercise at all and you're not even doing a diet, that's the other thing people are fighting and battling. So squats it is. And I'm going to throw myself under the butt. Under the bus.
That's 4 times now.
Oh my gosh. I'm throwing myself under the bus because I'll do my squats out in the living room here of the cabin. And as we've mentioned, we've been very honest. Our cabin is very small. And I swear, Tigger always ends up walking by while I'm doing my squats. Because us ladies, we got to do like 5 different versions of squats to hit all these muscle groups we didn't even know we had.
And guys don't like leg day at all.
Right? But I think
Even though we shouldn't skip it.
Every time I'm doing them is about the time I fall over. So if you find it hard to do squats, you're not alone, all right?
We'll get you there, Beck. We'll get you there.
The next on my list is, I know we just talked about exercising, but now we're going to talk about napping. I think that's my most favorite thing to do lately.
That's more your speed, Beck.
But get this, they're saying that if you're one of those that likes to take a good nap, but then sometimes has a hard time getting back after it after that nap, we're ignoring the whole 20-minute rule and things that we've heard over the years.
That doesn't work anyway.
What they're saying, experts are saying, is that you should drink caffeine, such as coffee, before taking that nap. So down your thing of caffeine or drink your cup of coffee and then take your nap, and you'll find that your 20-minute nap will actually occur. It'll end up being about 20-30 minutes, and you'll wake up and you'll be refreshed because it takes 20 to 30 minutes for that caffeine in the drink to actually become metabolized.
Well, duh, it makes sense because you got to get up and go to the bathroom.
Why do you got to be a Debbie Downer?
No, I mean,
Tigger, maybe
let's just talk about the obvious.
Maybe you're just at that age.
Oh, funny girl. Go to commercial.
Not my fault you get up 3 times a night to go and so-called let the dog out. All right, we'll change gears again because that's what we do here on the bed.
Please do that.
We have been talking about how this month has been National Beef Month, one of our favorite months, especially with us being producers. And we always want to give a tip of the hat to all the farmers and ranchers out there that are providing our great nation with amazing beef. But I got some more fun beef trivia for you, Tigger. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Go.
All right, here we go.
Some of these are tough. You've been doing these the last few weeks. I'm kind of surprised on some of these. Oh, I'm looking at the answers on the back.
What? Don't be looking over here, all right? Okay, here is one for you. True or false? Color crayons, marshmallows, and lipstick have beef byproducts in them. True or false?
True, of course true.
Nicely done. Where do cows have teeth? On the top, bottom, or both?
On the bottom.
Oh, I'm amazed you remembered that. Good one. Okay, next one here. What is the most popular burger? Regular burger, a regular cheeseburger, or large cheeseburger?
The most popular?
What size?
I'm going to say regular. A regular cheeseburger, I'm going to say, is the most popular size.
Americans, we love our large cheeseburgers. The bigger, the better. Okay? That's what studies have figured out. All right. What are the 3 top uses of ground beef? Burger, spaghetti, or Mexican dishes?
Burger.
You've got it.
Duh.
We love our hamburgers. Are all of you getting hungry? I know you are. You have to be. Okay. All right. Here's one more before we take a break. Do you know the difference between grilling and barbecuing?
I'm going to just assume on this because I'm thinking they're both over something. Is barbecue, is that open or maybe a pit maybe? Because I'm thinking like pit roast or something like that.
You got it. Barbecue is cooking in a pit or on a spit.
I've never done the pit roasting. I've seen it. It's amazing, but we've never tried that.
Yeah, we need to do that whole dig a hole too one of these days.
Right, but I don't want to waste if it doesn't turn out right. I mean, I don't want to waste a whole bunch.
I believe in us, Tigger. I fully believe in us.
At least one person does.
I've been to some people's places and they've done it and it always turns out amazing. Grilling, of course, is cooking over hot coals. So now you know we're going to have a little more fun with beef and even share maybe a recipe at the end of the show. We'll see how much time we've got to go there. But for now, we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about an alternative food source that's been all over the news. Stay where you are. The Ben Show. We'll be back right after
this. Watch RFD TV anytime, anywhere on all your connected devices with RFD TV Now. Simply go to watchrfdtv.com and sign up for just $9.99 a month, or save more and pay just $89.99 for the year. You can begin streaming RFD TV live right away and have access to your favorite shows 24/7 on demand. Go to watchrfdtv.com, sign up, and start streaming today.
Get ready for the thrill of a lifetime. The world-famous Miles City Bucking Horse Sale is back, featuring one of the largest one-day match bronc riding events on the planet. Join us on Sunday, May 19th at the fairgrounds for a PRCA-sanctioned spectacle where over 30 elite bronc riders compete for a massive $50,000 purse. Plus, add to the excitement with pari-mutuel wagering. Visit buckinghorsesale.com for a full schedule and tickets. The world-famous Miles City Bucking Horse Sale in Miles City, Montana, where the spirit of the West comes alive.
This is Beck. First, I appreciate all of you for listening and making The Bend part of your week. Many of you have asked, how do I catch past episodes? The answer is super easy. Head to thebendshow.com and click on the Shows tab. There you can listen to every episode all the way back to episode 1. Podcasters, head to your favorite podcasting app and search The Bend. You'll find us. Be sure to follow and subscribe and never miss another episode again. Welcome back to The Ben Show, your outlet for outdoors and Western lifestyle. We said before break, we went from beef to saying we're going to talk about some alternative food choices. And these ones might have you surprised that we're going to be talking about. Tigger, I'm going to kind of let you
crawlies.
Exactly, lead. I'm going to let you take the lead on this one.
Okay, I have had some rather unusual food in my day. Now, I'm not talking about rattlesnake, although I've had rattlesnake before. But have you ever eaten insects? On purpose, I'm not saying that, you're on horseback or you're buzzing around on the four-wheel and a fly or something
Actually,
like that.
that happened back on last week. I was riding and I swallowed a fly, and Reese, my nephew, looked at me and thought I was going to start choking.
So what'd you think of it? What'd you think of the taste?
I swallowed it so fast, all I could think of is, oh my gosh, I just swallowed a fly.
Now, I have had grasshopper.
On purpose?
I have had, absolutely on purpose. I have had grasshopper before. Remember from Lonesome Dove, the very first one, when Gus and Woodrow, that they're in Texas, they're trying to find a cook, and they meet El Campo, remember?
Yes.
And he hands them this little dish, and Gus says, or Woodrow says, dang, that's tasty. And Gus says, what is that, some kind of candy? And lo and behold, it was grasshopper. Remember that part of the movie?
I remember. Didn't he end up
Woodrow
spitting them out?
spits it out,
Yes.
and Gus was laughing. I have had grasshopper, and I will say that, it kind of tasted like some kind of candy, but you got to get past the crunch. Now, I know like a lot of people, they'll put chips on their sandwich because they like the crunch, or the pickles, they like the crunch. You got to get past the crunch. But I got to be honest, it wasn't bad. And they have a lot of like chocolate-covered grasshoppers.
So you're saying
it wasn't bad.
Dire situation, you would do
in
this.
A survival situation. But I know like a lot of people, if they're like me, you got kind of a weak constitution where it depends upon the consistency of what it is, right? So like I can't do ooey and gooey.
Well, you don't do mushrooms, for example. Textures get to you.
Exactly, textures. Thank you.
Even for example, like a pizza crust, for example, Tigger, if it's not fully cooked through and it's a little doughy, you won't touch it.
I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want. But here's what the popular one is, and we've been hearing this more and more and more. You probably have seen this a lot in your social media feeds, and that is cicadas. Cicadas, it's legit. It's not just something us at the end of back roads, at the end of dirt roads, and back roads too, I guess, in that situation, are frying up as a joke. No, this is legit. They're being served all over the world, literally. And I was doing a little research on this because I got curious about it. And lo and behold, just literally a few days ago, the Georgia Extension Food Science and Technology at the University of Georgia came out with an article. And it literally says, add a little crunch to your diet with cicadas, how to harvest, store, prepare food from the emergence of the cicadas in Georgia.
Well, they're coming across the entire United States.
They're in droves.
This is the year of cicadas. If you haven't heard about it, they have massive brooding population explosions every 13 to 17 years, approximately. And this is the year they're speculating we're going to have cicadas and cicadas and cicadas.
Everywhere. And I know that there's some places like the further north you go, less likely to have cicadas. They're a little bit more common the further south that you go, but it's speculated we're all going to see them.
I do know this.
Yeah, go ahead.
They have been found on all continents except Antarctica. So you could find them.
Now, there's a recipe in here. This is how legit this thing is. It's a cicada and seafood boil.
Okay.
Legit.
You and I must have been looking at the same feed because I was laughing. I had seen that, and right away, first thing that came to my mind was, why is it a cup of seafood seasoning like Old Bay seems to fix everything?
Magical. It is absolutely magical.
It's like the go-to. You use that and a little bit of, is it that kielbasa sausage? It's like you mix those two together.
You put some sriracha on there. You can,
and you're
put a little hot
good.
sauce on there. It does everything. Yeah, I mean, you literally, people are going out and they're catching them, putting them like in a Tupperware container and freezing them is the best way. And literally, I mean, and I started really digging into this, and there are so many different articles that have come out and information of how to prepare cicadas, how to eat them. They say that obviously there's the crunch, but they say that they're very, very high in protein. It's a very healthy fat. I'm not saying that this needs to be an alternative to beef because it's beef month, but in a dire situation.
Okay, so what you're saying is you could maybe mix this in with your beef dish.
I'm not saying that at all.
Oh, okay.
That's you that's speculating that.
I wouldn't want to ruin my beef. That's all I can say.
So my question is, would you try this? If I would get crazy enough, and actually I'm going through this recipe here, would you try this? I mean, because they say you can remove the legs, you can remove the wings if that's too much crunch for somebody. Would you try it?
So you're saying you would make like a cicada and seafood boil is what you're suggesting?
Yes, I would follow
like
one
that?
of these, and I would try it, and we can even do like a Facebook Live or something and let everybody enjoy it.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I may have to trick you and just eat the shrimp and the sausage.
And you would pick around it. All right, hold on here, Beck, though. I'm looking at this literally as we speak. This is a cicada chocolate chip cookie recipe. This is legit.
In chocolate chip cookies? You're going to mess with my cookies?
Yeah, in chocolate chips. I mean, this is the whole thing. Combined flour, cicada powder. Oh, okay, so you take the cicadas and you grind them up.
Oh, I want to see you dry them and turn them into powder. This could be funny in itself, you going through that experiment.
Okay, it says make the cicada powder, and roasted cicadas. You roast the blanched cicadas on a sheet. I mean, it's legit. I'm not making this up. I would try it.
I can't believe. Well, I don't even think you've ever.
Cicadas.
I don't think you've ever even baked a cookie in your
life.
Well,
now is a reason for me to start. It's a reason to start experimenting.
Now you just gave me an idea.
But there's high-end restaurants that are serving cicadas. It's very popular overseas that I'm finding out.
I'm with you. I'm not arguing. I have been having it show up all over my feeds. I've been trying to ignore it, but you are absolutely correct. And they have been eaten for thousands of years. So yes, they are considered a food source.
Okay, wait a minute. We may have to reverse this whole thing. I just went to another article, and I'm actually looking at the cicada coming out of this dipping sauce. We may have to talk about this.
It doesn't look as good as
Here,
it sounds,
let me turn my screen. Look at that. That does not. His eyeball.
Way.
That doesn't look good at all, does it?
No. I'm going to have to pass.
Like
I can't do it. I can't do it when the eyeballs are still there staring at
they're
me.
Still there.
Even my
back
fish.
at you.
I like fish, but I'm sorry. I know
smiling.
Some people like to leave the head on and stuff. Yeah, that kind of ruins it for me. You got it. No.
Yeah, we're going to have to talk
I don't want
about
anything that can look me in the eye.
Let's talk. Is this where we can go to break?
We're going to break, and I think we're going to come back and talk about some more beef. It's grilling month, all right? You're listening to The Ben Show. Stay where you are. You've waited, dreamt of a hunting adventure, and now have harvested that trophy of a lifetime. Keep the memory alive with a custom-designed mount, preserved as a work of art. Check out our approved taxidermist depending on your location. The award-winning Schneider Taxidermy is located in Helena, Montana. When hunting the Dakotas, JB's Wildlife Designs in Mandan, North Dakota. Then Shadron Creek Taxidermy in Nebraska. And for the Central USA, Little Rack Taxidermy in Macomb, Illinois. Reach out to The Ben Show and let us help you find the right taxidermist.
Hey guys and gals, this is John Arman with Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV. Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV travels the back roads to the backwaters in pursuit of the ultimate adventure in hunting and fishing. Join Team UOA every week for exciting action in the crosshairs of the outdoors. Catch Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV on YouTube, Amazon Prime, and make sure to follow Team UOA on Facebook and Instagram to share in the ultimate outdoor adventure.
Get ready for the Western experience of a lifetime. The world-famous Miles City Bucking Horse Sale is back and better than ever. Join us May 16th through the 19th in Miles City, Montana. From the finest bucking stock to electrifying horse racing, this event has it all. Don't miss out on the kickoff concert featuring Josh Turner and special guest Chancey Williams. Mark your calendars and saddle up for the world-famous Miles City Bucking Horse Sale where the spirit of the West comes alive. Get your tickets at buckinghorsesale.com.
Welcome back, folks, to The Ben Show, your outlet for Western lifestyle news. I'm Rebecca Warner, a.k.a. Beck, and riding along shotgun is my co-host, Jeff Tigger Earhart. Thank goodness we're putting the cicadas behind us, and we're back to talking about beef because it is National Beef Month and National Grilling Month. And with 1 week out from Memorial Weekend, now's the time to be figuring out those meats that you're going to be throwing on the grill for our first big grilling weekend of the year. I love beef because it is very, very easy to cook. Some people are afraid, and then they also look at the cost depending on where you're getting it from. And then you start wondering, oh, how are these lower end cuts going to be? I'm telling you, it doesn't have to be that hard. It really is. You've heard me talk about it before. I get passionate about it, but especially when you're cooking up, say, steaks, or you're wanting to cut some thin strips of maybe a flat iron steak up to make into fajitas. The key to it is marinade. And I'm bringing this up because you can start marinating 2 to 3 days already before you head to your campsite. So that, say you get there and you pull in, you put up your campsite, put your tent up, put your camper in place, get it all leveled out.
Get past the argument of
Yes.
it, trying to get backed in there. And all
Exactly. If only Tigger would listen. Anyway.
You got to learn hand signals.
Anyway, you start preparing now so that when you get there, it is easy and it doesn't have to be that messy either. Now you're talking to me and you're going, Beck, what are some marinades that are no-brainers? Some of them have a lot of sugar in them. I've come across, and this is not a sponsor of this show whatsoever. It's by G. Hughes. Again, that's G. Hughes, Hughes.
Are these the sugar-free ones?
These are sugar-free
great.
marinades. I have not found one that is bad. I love using the mesquite. I love using the teriyaki. I'm excited. I picked up some pineapple ginger marinade. I'm looking forward to trying the orange marinade.
Yeah, the orange one we had was spectacular.
It turns that into an excellent beef stir fry. Throw some of your vegetables in there, a few peanuts in there. It's amazing. And these are all easy meals.
And we found, like you said, those maybe those lower end cuts of meat or something. I get it. Times are tough, and you got to do what you got to do. And we found that with the lower end cuts of meat, and when you're doing your marinade process for a day or two, this stuff is nothing less than succulent.
And here's
Fabulous
another
stuff.
little budget saver for you is don't be afraid to ask your butcher if they have some stew meat. And a lot of times you don't have to pay as much for the stew meat because usually they'll either grind that up for hamburger, things like that. But Tigger at first, when I first started cooking up with stew meat and making my fajitas or making it in stir fries, you were very... you're going to use stew meat? But I'm telling you, you cut it up into fine bite-sized pieces and you let it marinate for at least 24 hours. It's amazing how all of a sudden it just falls apart. It's very good. It's very good.
Now, first step, of course, is if you can start with a really good cut of meat, right? I mean, that's what a person prefers to do.
Yes.
And even with those really good cuts of meat, you can add different marinades to them. I got to admit, I was never really a marinade guy until we got together. And you started, like you said, grab some stew meat, and I was kind of poo-pooing the stew meat, but you started using marinades, and I could not tell the difference between a high-end cut of meat and the stew meat when you was done.
Here's another one to use if you don't want to use G. Hughes, and this one is also fat-free and very healthy, is Mickey's mustard. He has a sweet mustard that works, and you put your meat in it. It'll work also as a marinade. Excellent. It's also great to coat the outside of your hamburgers before you grill them.
And there's two versions of that. They have the regular, which we pretty much inhale, and then they have the hot. And when it's hot, I'm saying
It's spicy.
You just need just a little bit of that in there. But it's
here
fabulous stuff.
is the biggest secret to cooking these meats before we go, and that is make sure your grill or your skillet cast iron is hot. Don't be throwing your meat into a cold pan. You make sure that is hot. That skillet is hot. That grill is hot. You sear both sides and then you turn it down and let it finish cooking. That way you keep all that marvelous marbling inside, which gives it the flavor. We're going to call this show wrapped. Thanks again, as always, to my producer co-host, Jeff Tigger Earhart. And remember, folks, to keep sending in your questions that you might have or your local field reports. That number, again, you can call or text anytime, 305-900-2363. Again, 305-900-2363. You can email bendradioshow@gmail.com. You can find us all over social media at The Bend Show. Also, if you missed this episode or you want to hear past shows, you can find them all on the website, thebendshow.com, and subscribe to your favorite podcasting app or to The Ben Show YouTube channel. Thank you to our partners, the world famous Miles City Buck and Horse Sale, Dye Tally Outdoors, The Prairie Crocus, Medora Boot and Western Wear, Blue Water Girl Charters, Buckstorm, Little Rack Taxidermy, Mickey's Mustard, Atlas Tracks, RFD TV, and Wrangler. Finally, a big thanks to all you listeners out there that came along, and whether you're coming or going today, stay with us as we ranch it up. And remember to keep up with me, Beck, all week long by following The Bend on Facebook and on Instagram at The Bend Show. This is Rebecca Warner. Catch Beck if you can next week on The Bend.